And my dog just decided to say hello. Say hi. I'm Caligula. And yes, I'm named after a demented Roman emperor. Mwah. Hey, it's Sue in the restricted section. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the book A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James. This book is a fictional account of the actual attempted assassination of Bob Marley that happened in Jamaica in 1976. It covers the events leading up to that event, the event itself, and then it also flashes forward to several years after the event occurs. This book is anything but brief. It's quite a chunker, as you can see, and it is a little slow getting into it. It's narrated by several different characters, and each chapter has a different character narrating it, and it's a little difficult at first. It can be confusing to keep track of kind of who's who and which side of this political war that's happening in Jamaica each person is on. There's 2 political factions battling for control. But Marlon James does actually provide a cast of characters in the front of the book. So if you get too lost, you can flip back to that and see who's who. I didn't really like to do that because I feel like that really interrupts the flow of your reading to do that. But you know, it's there if you need it. It's also a little slow starting out with this book because a lot of the characters speak in Jamaican dialect, and they use slang words that I never heard before, and their pronoun usage is a lot different. So it kind of took a while to get used to that, but once you're used to it, it's not a big deal anymore. The one thing I liked about this book was that it touches on so many important topics without seeming forced or preachy in any way, like gang violence, sexual violence, drug use, homophobia. It talks about all of those things at some point, or in some cases completely throughout the book, but it's just what these characters have to deal with in their lives. And it's also interesting because the book begins in 1976 and it ends in, I believe, 1991, so you kind of also see how those things change throughout the course. Another thing I really loved was that the characters are all so well developed, and you really sympathize for these characters, some of whom do terrible things. A lot of them are gang members or gang leaders, and they kill people and they sell drugs and they give drugs to these young boys to get them to come, hooked on it so they'll be in their gang. And yet you still, I guess, understand the characters well, and so you sympathize with them, and you really, in some ways, still like them. They're not, of course, 100% likable characters, but they still have redeeming qualities, I guess. And this book everything just comes together so beautifully in the end that it's so worth it's so worth reading. I encourage you, if you've maybe started it and thought maybe it was too slow, or if you're intimidated by the length, or whatever the case may be, I encourage you to give it a shot. I mean, forewarning, there is a lot of drugs, violence, etc., in it, so, if any of that stuff is going to bother you, then don't read it. I just love where he took all of these characters. So many of them really surprised me in the best way. And I don't mean that as in, oh, they're really a great guy. I mean, they just went to really interesting places. So I definitely recommend this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Even though the beginning was a little slow, I thought everything that was in the beginning was important to the rest of the book, and so it didn't diminish my enjoyment of it at all in the end. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe if you'd like to. And I'll also put some links down below for other places you can find me on the internet if you're interested. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!